This is Greg Troutwine with Marine Technology Reporter, and we're very pleased to be joined today by Greg Johnson, RBR, at the Oceanology International Show in
Greg
London.
the Lesser, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Greg, just to start us off here, I'm sure everybody watching this certainly knows the RBR name. Why don't you just give us a short overview of the company and where you're at today?
Sure. Well, we turned 50 this year. Same year that company started, the same year that I did. But this is the only one I'm celebrating. And we've been in Canada since the beginning. Grew up in a couple of houses, classic kind of ocean startup. About 110 people now, based still primarily in Ottawa, but also with offices around the world, and doing all the design and manufacture as we always have done.
Okay, so Greg, you know better than I, this business is all about new technology. What have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Why don't you talk a little bit about some of the new things that we are seeing or will see from RBR?
Well, I think we've been known for our CTDs and tide and wave recorders for a long time, but we've been pushing into optical sensors in the last couple of years. Following our acceptance into the Argo program, it's been clear that the power consumption versus measurement quality of some of those optical sensors really is crippling the deployment lifetimes of a lot of those instruments. And the cost of an instrument is often relatively small compared to the cost of getting the instrument into the water, whether it's ship time or building a float. So we want to build sensors that are particularly low power. And we've recently come out with some chlorophyll, other fluorometry backscatter sensors, which work optically, but give the same kind of accuracy that people are looking for, that kind of Mercedes-Benz class that we're known for, but consume about 5% of the power consumption of our competition. And what I find these things at Oceanology is it's a great chance to see how you've leapfrogged, and then also prepare to be leapfrogged yourself, because the customer only really benefits if there's nobody in monopoly, but everybody's scrapping to get to the top. It keeps us on our toes as well, and that's what we enjoy.
It's an interesting analogy on competition, and I like it. I know you're giving a talk here today about a new winch system you discussed.
True, yeah. So we've started off, as I said, with the CTDs. We've been adding more optical sensors, but we've also been starting to move into that system side of things, equipment or accessories that makes it easier to deploy. And so one of the things, particularly in research oceanography, is that ship time costs you $50,000 to $100,000 a day, and you want to do it from this location. So you burn a lot of oil to get there. And often that time to get there is wasted time, because unless you stop, you can't really make accurate measurements, because you need to be making vertical measurements through the water column. So we've developed a winch that runs at about 10 meters per second. That is to say 20 knots worth of line ejection speed, which means that if we want to drop an instrument vertically through the water at 3 or 4 meters per second, the boat can still be moving at 8-10 knots, and there's no pull on the line, and so the line is being chucked out so fast that the boat is effectively leaving the line free of drag behind it. And you can deploy line lengths of 1,000 meters, get down to 300 or 400 meters before you have to pull up, and do it completely autonomously. So you don't need somebody on deck to be doing this. The data is coming in real time. The data can even be deployed not only to the ship's network, but we can telemeter it straight off. So if you deploy this winch on a fishing boat or other kind of vessel of opportunity, as long as the deckhand says it's clear to deploy and I'd like to recover, scientists back in the office can see the data straight away. So that's one of the things we'll be chatting about this morning. Unfortunately, it's a bit big to bring. So we had it on a boat at a show recently. We mounted it on the back of my small beach catamaran, and people did wonder if it was an autonomous winch for a beach cat, but no, we're looking for 30-meter vessels or bigger.
Okay, Greg, always a pleasure to catch up, and I wish you a good show.
Thanks, Greg.
All right.
Cheers.